so let's some.
All right, so let's talk about today's lab. If you look at the objectives, we want to identify an opportunity to create value for others, and that's what I want you to be thinking about in your projects. Is let's do something to help create value. And value doesn't necessarily mean money. It could be social value. It could be other types of value. All right. We want to do a preliminary investigation of our problem domain. Now, one thing that I know the way I kind of phrased last lab kind of tricked you into thinking of the solution first, but really the way we're going to approach it in this class is we're going to think of the problem first and work out to a solution, not come up with a solution and then try to work back and fit a problem to it. You know, and that's a big perspective shift, and that's a failure that a lot of businesses make. They have this great idea. They go out and get it made, or they go and produce it, then they find out no one needs it. You know, but the approach we're going to take this time is we're going to evaluate the problem, analyze the problem, and then derive a solution. All right, and that's inverse from how how the first thing was framed. And then we're going to start to build out our requirement specification. Here's where we start to do that, and we're going to incrementally expand upon it through the quarter. So what you'll need to do this period is you will set the groundwork for your course project. This lab and the next lab. We'll do the activities that we talked about yesterday and that we'll talk about tomorrow. So the first thing you do is I want you to write a very concise statement about the problem domain and about the value that you believe will be created. Okay? Synthesize whatever problem you're going to tackle, and synthesize what you think your solution is going to provide. Okay? Let's take the textbook one, for example, and let's go back to where I want higher adoption rate and higher utilization rate by students. So I would say something like, there's a real problem with college textbooks. Students don't use them, they don't adopt them, and then when they buy them, then they still don't use them. What I want to do is I want to increase the utility of textbooks so that the students get more value out of them. That would be an example of what I'm looking for here. I want you to take that PAM-VFA structure and articulate your goal. Once you've kind of solidified your project, you kind of big picture articulated what where you want to be, use that structure and write your goal. I want you to analyze the current situation and succinctly state it. Like, let's take style up. Current situation is people with a fashion sense, which we may not be able to relate to. At least I can't, because I don't have a fashion sense. Struggle with coming up with good fashion ideas on their way to work in the morning when they've only got a limited amount of time. So or something like that. Try to frame the problem pretty succinctly. Then what you'll do is you will do a work context diagram, and you will come up with a list of business events. Now tomorrow I'm going to give you this brainstorming technique. It's actually structure to it. It's not just let's all sit down and talk. There's actual structure to it. All right, so you don't know that yet, but you will know it after tomorrow. And so you'll produce the work context diagram, which, remember, the work of providing fashion advice. And then you'll identify all your adjacent systems, and then your business events will be all those ways those systems interact with your work. And that's what you can do this lab. You're just going to start to move it forward. All right. Now, I know we're engineers, but there's not much engineering here. There's a lot of thinking, a lot of thought exercises, a lot of creativity, a lot of exploration. So there's not some recipe I can give you that says, here's how you produce your business event. It's going to be thought exercises. So this here, I want you to knowing what you know now. We haven't done constraints yet, and so I may punt this to the next lab, because in the next lab we'll actually come up with costs and budgets and that kind of stuff. So I may punt on asking you to make a decision this week. We may do that next week. Okay, but here I want you to build out a Google Doc you need to submit to me a comment-enabled version. Okay? Now, when I graded these last ones, what I did was I made a copy, a local copy, and shared back to you a comment-enabled version. The advantage of that was that I had my own version, and then if we modified it, you'd be modifying your version, and I could preserve mine I could preserve my copy, for our records. So I may the comment enabled may not matter, because what I may do is keep making copies and give you back a slice in time of your document. So this document's going to grow. Okay? But for now, keep a comment enabled, because I'm not sure how that's going to work next week. This the assessment URL, you need to do this. If you didn't do that this past week, I took off 5 points. Next week, I'm going to take off 10. Okay? If you don't do the assessment, I'm going to take off 10 points. I want you to do this exercise. The submission URL is going to look very similar. What's going on? It thinks my cursor's in a different spot. But let's take a look at the requirement specification. Now this is not a template per se. This is more of a structure plus a bunch of annotations and commentary. So it's not a blank skeleton of a document. This is an outline, and then if we go look, and here's some education stuff. So it gives you, here's the background of the project effort. This is commentary for you. This is not sections for you to fill in. Okay? So I want you to give this background. This is instructions for you, not structure. Okay? But using this as a guide, build your Google Doc to follow the structure. Okay? Using this as a guide. And this is what we're going to build the rest of the quarter. The spec. Any questions about the lab? None? Yeah, Brody? Yes. So, I will. So I will print this. I'll print this, and then you guys can refer to it. Or do you want me to just share it with you guys?
You just want to put it on
Yeah, I'll do that. Now don't take these are notes for other instructors. So don't take offense. The project ideas could come from results in the first lab, assuming they were good enough to carry forward. Don't take offense to that. This is just, some of y'all may have some good ones, some of y'all might not have. But I'm not trying to insult anybody. All right, I will add this to the lab.
Also, what does this one do? Monday night?
Yeah. Does that feel comfortable for you guys, Monday night? Does anybody have any complaints about that? All right, let's try Monday night. Like I said, we can flex on this. We can go a couple labs, and then if it's not working, we can change it. Okay? Monday night lets me grade them before the next lab period. Like I started grading them yesterday or day before yesterday, and I got them back to you before this lab started. If we get much later than that, I don't think I can turn them around before the next lab starts. But like I said, if it doesn't work, we can change. I'm flexible. Now, if it doesn't work because you wait to the last minute, well, tough. Trenton, you're not going to wait to the last minute, are you?
I wait to the last minute no matter when it's set up.
Okay.
Good job. Yeah.
Here's the question: When you're actually reading, you actually end up reading the assessment date, right?
This time I will, but this time I did not have time to read them all yet.
Okay. Well, no one sounded like you were referencing what I said to you.
No. That's just coincidence.
Okay.
But no, I cherry picked a couple, and then I wanted to get y'all's labs graded back. So I would like to hear about your project sometime during labs. When you make a decision, please call me over. I want to hear what you're going to do. Hey, Dylan, can you get the lights back on?
This is not what that is.